Welcome, our fellow lovers of love, and thank you for joining us on yet another excursion through the stream of consciousness, down the river of tranquility, to fill the lake of life with love.
And good evening, our fellow lovers of love, and thank you for joining us this week on what is the week of thankfulness, or what I like to call the week where we begin the thankful season, because it really kind of goes right up until New Year's, right? Where
it really does.
It's Thanksgiving's kind of the start, and kind of Christmas is the, I don't want to say end, but New Year's is kind of the end, right? Where you think about the new stuff and you're not so much thankful for what's happened, you're kind of looking forward. But at this time of year is when you kind of look back in retrospect and you think about all the things in life and all the people that you are grateful for. You try not to dwell on the paths not taken. You try to appreciate those things in your life that is not just necessarily rewarding, that are valuable. And however you define value, value isn't money. Value is emotion and safety and all those various things in life that we care about. And so that's what we're here tonight to talk about. The heck was that? We're going to talk to you tonight about thankfulness and, things to be thankful for, how to be more thankful in your life. And we'll also have a couple, nerdy facts about Thanksgiving, because Lubby loves lists, as we all know now.
Well, it's Thanksgiving. You got to have some tidbits to talk about around the table.
This is true, because otherwise you end up talking about politics, and that just ruins Thanksgiving. So find something else to talk about. That is true. So, but before, I will do that at the end. All right, we'll talk about what me and Lubby are thankful for at the end of the show, so you guys can wait around for that. All right, so what do you want to start with tonight, love?
Oh, let's talk about Thanksgiving. 10 interesting facts.
All right, let me see. 10 interesting facts about Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Right, let's get you started here while I get my technology.
Okay. Well, first off, the Pilgrims invested every penny they had to finance their trip. They were going to take 2 ships, but one of the boats had problems and couldn't be used, and there was no plan B. So 2 shiploads of people crammed into one. And it wasn't so great. The Mayflower wasn't so great either.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, let's face it, none of those ships were all that great back in those days, right?
Right.
We wouldn't call those ships seaworthy in the modern world, but yet they sailed the ocean blue in those things. So that's just kind of an amazing fact themselves.
Yeah, it is.
We wouldn't step on because we were afraid it would sink. These people went and sailed the oceans that no one had ever returned from before. So it's, at least from their perspective, had never returned from before.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. So what we got? The Pilgrims had invested every penny.
Yes, and because of the delay, they started their journey weeks later than they originally intended. This put them in the winter season when they didn't have their houses built in time for the winter.
Then a couple of weeks can make all the difference, right?
It really can.
And so there were 102 people, including the Pilgrims crew and the tradesmen. Only had 50 survived the first winter, but none of the children died, which really tells you how much they had focused on protecting the kids. And so most of the children who were orphaned, it was just the next tidbit, were raised by other people who made the journey and survived. I mean,
every single person in the group was grieving someone they'd lost.
Yeah, you can't lose half your group and not be grieving. That's just a tremendous amount of...
that's a huge loss.
Amount of emotional stress. I mean, could we even deal with that these days? Oops. Okay, there we go.
They were afraid of the Indians at first, and the Indians would come, and from a distance, they would just watch. And the men would raise their muskets, but the Indians, they never attacked. They were just checking it out. One day, an Indian named Samoset walked into the fearful group and spoke some broken English that he'd learned from an English fisherman who'd been to the area.
Yep. And he told the group that a different tribe, which had cleared the land and built some structures, an epidemic wiped out the whole tribe, which tells you how, on edge life was back at the time, right?
And they said that they could use the land, so...
Yeah, well, because for them, it was cursed land, right? That may have been a backwards blessing for their perspective. No, that land's cursed. You don't live on it. So we'll go tell those people to go live on the land. That doesn't work.
And unfortunately, the Indians had a bad experience with pilgrims, with people, visitors before. They'd come and kidnap some of the members of the tribe. So they didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, so, distrust among people because of the actions of other people, which is entirely human, right? It's been happening. That's the story of humanity since the beginning of time. Negotiated a peace treaty.
Yes.
It's funny how both sides considered the other one to be savages, and in a sense, maybe they both were, maybe they both weren't. Maybe life is complicated, right?
Governor Bradford's first Thanksgiving proclamation said this: "Inasmuch as the Great Father has given us this year an abundant harvest of Indian corn, wheat, peas, beans, squashes, and garden vegetables, and has made the forest to abound with game and the sea with fish and clams, and inasmuch as he has protected us from the ravages of the savages and spared us from pestilences and disease, has granted us freedom to worship God according to the dictates of our own conscience."
Now, I, your magistrate, do proclaim that all ye pilgrims with your wives and ye little ones do gather at ye meeting house on ye hill between the hours of 9 and 12 in the daytime on Thursday, November 29th, on the year of our Lord 1623, and the third year since the pilgrims landed on ye Pilgrim Rock, there to listen to your pasture and render thanksgiving to ye Almighty God and his blessings.
That was the first Thanksgiving proclamation.
Yeah. Then they invited the Indians who had the peace treaty with. They arrived with 90 men and they had 5 deer, which also had wild turkeys and other fowl and whatnot.
And they all feasted for 3 days.
Yeah, so if you think your Thanksgiving feast is a big feast, try a 3-day Thanksgiving feast. That's a real feast there, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know if I could eat for 3 days, to be honest, like that. What are you talking about? Of course we could. I just don't like enough food. As long as it's hamburgers, I could eat. I could eat the hamburgers. If you have lots of hamburgers, I can eat lots of hamburgers. But I think the important thing is it's not that turkey is necessarily a tradition because it's the tradition just because what they had. You could also say deer was a tradition. They had deer at the first Thanksgiving.
Yes, they did.
So eating deer could be a Thanksgiving tradition, but instead it's turkeys.
It is. And just to find out how we got there, we got 10 fun facts about the wild turkey.
All right.
Okay, turkeys are believed to be named after the country because early Europeans were reminded of the African guinea fowl back home, which was native to Turkey, which led to its name. And there are only 2 species of wild turkey, ours in North America and ocelot turkey in Central America.
Ocellated turkey? Is that like an ocelot?
I don't know.
How the heck would you... Anyway, okay. I'll just... One of those naming things. I'm not going to think about an ocelot and a turkey. You wouldn't think we'd get along too well. All right.
Okay, male turkeys can weigh up to 25 pounds, while the average female is about half that weight.
Okay.
Wild turkeys roost in trees overnight to avoid predators. While they do not look like the fastest bird, wild turkeys are surprisingly confident flyers, capable of hitting 60 miles per hour.
Yeah, so don't get hit by a flying turkey.
My car got hit by a flying turkey once.
Okay.
Okay, turkeys have excellent eyesight, seeing 3 times more clearly than 20/20. They can also see in color and have a 270-degree field of vision.
Well, then they claim it gives them both edge on predators and hunters, but then how come there are in our plates every Thanksgiving?
I don't know. Did you know you can discern a turkey's sex from its droppings? Apparently, male poop is shaped like the letter J, while female droppings are more spiral shaped.
Okay, then.
And the bigger the poop, the older the bird.
Alrighty, that's information I did not need to know. Okay.
But you can talk about it at your Thanksgiving dinner.
That's a perfect Thanksgiving there. I'm going to drop that in Thursday night. I think we're going to find our way.
Okay, wild turkey population plummeted in the 19th century due to overhunting and loss of habitat, with the species disappearing entirely in New England.
Yeah, now the birds are everywhere in some places.
Yeah, now we have conservation efforts.
Yeah, now the birds have gotten, they're actually a pest in some places. So they're annoying. So.
Okay, along with their wattles and snoots, the piece of flesh that dangles from the beak, turkeys have another standout feature: beards. The bundle of feathers sprouting from their chest is known as a turkey beard, and it gets longer as the bird ages.
Yeah.
All males have beards. Some females also grow them.
No, why it's still a mystery.
But we have no idea why.
Who knows?
Benjamin Franklin did not advocate for the turkey. For the turkey as the national bird. Apparently, that is a false story.
No, but he was against the bald eagle because he thought the bald eagle was a bird of bad moral character, which I don't know how a bird could be a bad moral character. I don't understand.
Apparently, the turkey is a much more respectable bird.
A more noble creature? I don't know.
A bird of courage.
I don't know.
The first official presidential turkey pardon was given by George H.W. Bush in 1989, but reports credit many presidents with the tradition, including Abraham Lincoln, whose son took a liking to the turkey destined for Christmas dinner. Harry Truman, who was the first to appear in a photo op with a turkey that would later be served. That's cold, dude.
That's what the turkey was donated for. Here's your dinner. Well, you know the whole official turkey thing, right? They get the 2 turkeys that they go and to get pardoned by the president. You know, they get the presidential pardon, but then they still have a turkey dinner. It's just not those 2 turkeys. It tells you how, fair our justice system is, right? A couple turkeys get pardoned while the rest of us get served up for dinner. It's all right. Well, what do you want from me? So that's our talk about turkey. That's all talk about turkeys. Even though I suppose lots of people apparently people claim that the eating too much turkey makes you sleepy is kind of a myth. It's eating too much food makes you sleepy, dingleberries.
Oh, I thought turkey has is it tryptophan?
Yeah, but it's not enough. It's just not enough. It's the fact that you get full and lethargic is why you feel full and lethargic after your Thanksgiving dinner. It's not actually all that complicated. That's why people who don't eat turkey get full and lethargic anyway, if you faux turkey or whatever it is. But that does bring us to the things that we are thankful for, right?
Yes.
We can laugh and we can have fun at, the history of Thanksgiving, and we can, sit and wonder at the conditions that people had to endure 250 years ago, 300 years ago, just to get through daily life, and how we sit here in our heated and air-conditioned houses with high-speed internet to talk to the world. And, these people who are leaving a couple weeks late, meant a brutally cold winter where half of them died. And so, what we can be thankful for is that we have progressed, that we no longer have to sail the oceans on ships that aren't really seaworthy. We don't have to have half our population die in a brutally cold winter. Whole tribes of people don't disappear in a couple years from pestilence. As bad as we may think things are, that's pretty good, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. So, on that note, we've got some things here on your list of what is it? The list of things to be grateful for. Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull this one up on the screen. Is that one?
I think so.
There it is. Okay. So the list of things to be grateful for. Number one is good health, or even moderately good health. All right? Doesn't mean you don't have problems. As I sit here with my busted arm, it means that in the general scope of things, you are life's okay. You realize you can take life how it comes. I work with a couple of wonderful guys, a father and son, and his mother, his wife, they're in hospice. It's at end of life care. And,
oh no.
And so things like a silly broken arm don't seem such a big deal when you have genuinely kind, wonderful human beings having to suffer through an emotional. That's one of those things, right? It's a slow emotional train wreck. And, and they're sitting here having to try and figure out, they're thankful for what time they have left. So let's all be thankful for our good health, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good friends. In your life, if you manage to build a foundation of friendship with a few, then you are blessed.
Yeah. You can change the trajectory of people's lives by simply being a good human being. And when you find those people with whom you can be good human beings together, who you make each other better human beings, it's a wonderful thing. And you should be eternally thankful for that. For those of us here in the United States, we have freedom of religion. There are places in the world where that is still not
and you have the freedom to opt out.
Yeah. Freedom of religion means the freedom to not have a religion.
Yes.
And so that's
not everywhere in the world.
Nor in other times, if you didn't believe the prevailing religion or prevailing spirituality, whatever you want to call it, could be sacrificed, so it was it's not a simple thing, and we should be more appreciative of that. Okay. Well, as your parents, your family.
Yes. Weekends. Not everyone gets them.
Well, weekends are actually, a lot of people think that life in the past was a simple thing and that you had a lot of spare time. And no, you didn't. Life in the past was scraping by a meager existence, 24/7 a day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There was no weekends. It was existence. You were nothing more than an animal living every day. So you could actually say weekends, be thankful for civilization. That's what I would say. Here's one. Having a partner, even though that one should be last, you should put that one at the end.
If you have a partner, you're lucky.
Yes, because your life is a lot easier when you have someone to share the journey with and to share the road. It's not even easier is probably the wrong word, because it comes with its own complications, right? It's because easier is probably not the wrong word to use. It's some of the worst aspects of life are less painful to navigate when you have someone to share the pain with.
That's very true. Problems, joys.
Yeah, it's it comes with its own set of problems if you're not adult enough, but that's a solvable problem as well. You become a better human being because of it. So, yeah. Pets,
yes. They offer unconditional love.
No, dogs offer unconditional love. Cats just want to knock stuff off the countertop.
No, Ramses loves me. He loves you. He comes and cuddles with you. He wants your attention when you get home from work at night.
Yeah, I know. And he tries to get it by knocking crap off the countertops. I get it. Okay. Learning from mistakes, which is actually probably a good thing to be thankful for, that we have the ability to learn, to reason.
So we don't keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You get stuck in a loop.
Well, we do that too. So
you get generational stuff going on.
Yeah, it's the ability to kind of step back and observe and take responsibility for yourself and move forward. It is something to be thankful for. How many are there?
60.
Oh, crap. We're not going to go through all these, are we?
No.
Okay. Good Lord. I thought there was like 10. All right. Fresh air, bad sleep. Let's just run through some of these. Laughter. Laughter is a good one. Be thankful for the laughter of a toddler.
The ability to read.
Yeah. Cars.
Not everyone can read.
No. Cars. I'm just blasting through some of these. So cars are a good one.
Safety and security. I can walk the street at night on my own if I need to down to the store and with no worries.
Oh, I can't even do that. Where do you think you live? Clean
yes,
water.
You can.
Clean water is a good one.
Yes.
There you go. Can we end on number 22?
Sure.
Number 22 is love. And I think that is one of the things we, considering the name of our show, is one of those kind of all-encompassing words that covers so much. If you're not thankful for love of your spouse, love of your family, love of pizza, whatever, love, it makes the world a better place. And I think we should all be thankful for it. A little bit more than we generally are. That's all I'm going to say to that. What about you?
Well, I think love is all encompassing. I don't think it's just between two partners. I think it can be between two strangers.
Yeah, I had a conversation on my TV show the other day, which, it aired last night. So, and I mean, it aired Thursday night. So, sometimes, I'm thinking next week. Between shows. It was actually happening between shows. We were talking about, at the end of my show, I say the same thing I do here, as I say, to love everybody. And between shows, how can you love everybody? How can you love people like, pick some bad human being of the world? And so you don't love the actions, you love humanity.
Yes.
The minute you start picking and choosing who is deserving of love, then you start picking and choosing who is deserving of love. And you start drawing arbitrary lines, and those arbitrary lines become narrower and narrower and narrower the more you contemplate it. And so it doesn't mean you like them, doesn't mean you want to spend any time with them, doesn't mean you admire them. It just means you love them as a human being. And all human beings, regardless of their actions, have a certain level of humanity, whether they deserve it or not. And and that's how you don't become them. You don't lose your humanity if you apply it to all times and all situations. You can, love does not mean, universal acceptance of behaviors. That's not what love means. Love means that you love everybody as a human being, and you'll treat them all with a certain level of humanity. And so, okay, so let's blast through this last one real quick. All right, so how can you help your community? Especially now, if you're someone who is a shell of means, and we are facing a time of, we're already in a recession. They just don't want to admit it. And there are layoffs and difficult economic times up ahead. And so for those who have the ability, what do you do? How do you help your community? Well, one is you can support local businesses, which is not as necessarily as easy as it sounds, because many of our chain stores, chain restaurants are actually local businesses. You think of them as big chains, but unless they're a corporate store, then it's not. It's a local business. It's owned by someone who lives in your community and run by someone who lives in a community who pays a fee to a corporation to put the sign on there. And, and it comes with some training and some help. But, training, some help, marketing, you do get a return from that investment.
Yes.
But those are local businesses. That's not unless it's a corporate store, it is a local business. It's a franchise, is a local business. And so it's not always as easy as it seems to shop local, but it doesn't mean you can't try where it's possible. I know Amazon, I do it all the time. I buy almost everything off Amazon now, unless we have to go to the local store. So I'm as guilty as anybody because it's easy. And who's got time to go to the store? I don't like shopping, and so I buy off of Amazon. But if you can, maybe make a different choice. And you've got donate to the food banks, local charities.
You can donate Children's Hospital, write a one-time check to a homeless shelter.
Foster youth programs, those without a family, especially this time of year. You talk about all of us, we're thankful for our family. Well, why don't we take a minute and think about those who don't have a family? And I think it might be beneficial for your own humanity, to think about them.
Okay, so what can we do if we don't have money? You can donate blood.
Yep. Local volunteer opportunities. Maybe instead of donating to the money to the food bank, you donate some hours in their warehouse. Raise some money.
Host a fundraiser.
Yeah, there you go. Raise some money instead of donate some. Plant a tree. Donate your old stuff. Not just don't get rid of old stuff. Donate good old stuff. Things you don't use. You bought maybe some stuff you bought never opened. How that happens sometimes. That's a good way to get rid of some stuff. Community garden, if there's a spot in your neighborhood for that. Pick up a trash bag and a poker so you can pick up trash that's so important they put it twice.
Yes, they did.
And help a friend or a neighbor. Right? Just how about just do something? You don't have to move the world to make the world a better place. You can literally just pick up a couple pieces of trash on the way to your car in the parking lot, and you've made the world a better place.
Yes, you have.
You can smiling at the cashier instead of getting upset because the line was long. You can make the world a better place. Just genuinely wanting to help people and following through makes the world a better place. And I think that's something that we should all think about. Now, for kids, I'm going to run through these real quick, okay?
Okay. You
got used recycling bins. Donate old clothes. 3 or 4-year-old kids grow so fast, some of them don't even get a chance to wear out their clothes, so give them away. Spread kindness and joy. Make a child laugh. Make a funny face. All right, so that's kind of where what you can do to help your communities, but mostly in this time of thankfulness, I think is what we all get across. And I think I just said it a minute ago. Just do something. Do something that helps your spirit. It helps the world around you. Do something to make the world a better place. It doesn't have to be a big grand gesture. No one even has to know. No one has to see you pick up a piece of paper and throw it away, but you've made the world a better place. Right? Just go out and do it. Stop thinking about it. Just do something. We all do a little something. Mountains will then be moved.
Smile at a stranger. Tell someone they have cute shoes.
Genuinely care about somebody.
Genuinely care, yes.
When you ask somebody about, how you doing? Mean it.
Listen.
Yeah, actually mean it. It's simple, but it's difficult at the same time. All right, Lovey, let's get going. What do we want to do? We want to do relationships, parenting, works.
Let's do relationships.
All right, what do we got?
I'm an artist. I create nude art. My boyfriend is not happy with it. I have recently created photography representing nudity with my other artist friend, same gender. Photography is basically my naked body, and it does not, capital letters, have any sexual appeal in my art. My boyfriend is clearly not happy with it. He believes that sacred naked bodies should only be shared within the couple, no one else. He said this is his boundaries, and I'm crossing his boundaries and hurting his feelings when I know how he would feel. How do I get him to accept this creative part of me?
Both of you have to decide. There are some things that are, relationship breakers. They are so fundamental that they can't be negotiated past. You are an artist who uses your body as a form of expression, and to not do that would harm you. You know it because you continue to do it, even though you know it was going to harm your partner, or at least harm his feelings. And he can't get past his nose, which is perfectly acceptable. There's nothing wrong with it, with feeling that.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with either position. The point is you're just mixed in with the wrong people. They're just not meant for each other. There are things that are so fundamentally juxtaposed that it is I don't want to say relationship ender, but it's a relationship ender. Because how do you get past it? There is no middle ground. One of you is going to have to completely sacrifice something that you believe to your core, or that you need to your core, depending upon the case. Your need for your artistic expression, and his need for
the exclusive.
Yeah, the exclusivity of the body, right? So how do you compromise there? There's no compromise between those two. If those are two fundamentals, there's nothing to compromise. And so my suspicion is you're not going to get him to accept it. And you're not going to change because you didn't ask, how do I change? How do I, right? You want him to change. He wants you to change. And neither one of you can. It's one of those things. Be thankful of the time you had together. Be thankful that, relationships can end amicably. But this is going to be a sore spot. And if one of you changes, one of you accepts it without accepting it, then it's going to be a fundamental, piece of mold in your relationship. And at some point, it's going to, eat it from the inside. It's better to find these things out young and early.
Yes, it is.
Than older and later after you've, and you have to go back and refine your artistic expression later on, or he has to go, later on and decide that he's been living against his moral beliefs. Neither one of you is going to be happy. So the only way for both of you to be happy is, start new paths. And you seem fairly young, so
yes.
So it's just one of these things. That's what happens when you search for partners. This is the kind of things that happen, and it's tough out there. That's why people say dating sucks, and it's tough because you find someone you like, but then you come across something that's so fundamental that you can't get past it, and you have to go start all the freak over again.
It's brutal, man.
But it takes courage to start over again when there's
an eternal hope.
Yeah, but there are some things that you don't want to sacrifice. You don't want to sacrifice your art, and he doesn't want to sacrifice his sense of morality. And so then you say, okay, thank you for the time we've spent together. Be thankful for the time you had, the growth you've helped each other with. Honor the good times and move on.
Yes.
And I hate when I have those questions.
Sorry.
No, it's not you. It's just, I don't like that being my advice to somebody is, no, it just sounds like that's one of those fundamental things. It's an end of that's a relationship. How are you going to negotiate through that? I just hate that being my advice. I really do. I just despise it. All right. Anyway.
Okay. My husband compliments his brother's girlfriend constantly, but doesn't to me because, quote unquote, I should already know. How do I get him to compliment me too?
That's a tough one because when you ask somebody to compliment them, it makes it awkward to compliment you. Because then it feels forced. I don't have an answer. I wish I did.
I would say talk to him.
Well, you could, but the chances of it actually going the way you want is relatively slim.
Yeah, but she needs to express herself.
Well, she already has. Because she said he's already answered her. I should already know. And in a sense that's true, you should.
Yeah, but she should address that. I don't know. Well, I feel insecure. I want you to compliment me too.
Of course, you know what's going to happen. He's going to stop complimenting anybody. Just that's what's going to happen. Because for a man, the problem is, okay, then I just won't compliment anybody. That's what will happen. I'll guarantee it. All right, what's next?
My wife and I have a routine on Friday nights. We watch the TV show House Hunters together, and we snuggle up on the couch. My mom says says I'm weird because of it. Am I weird?
Well, yeah, but everybody's weird. So what? I mean, what do? We sit around and we watch Red Green or Ekip NPC Man, or everybody's got their own love routines.
Family Feud.
Yeah, everybody's got their own love routines. And are they weird? Well,
Yeah,
sure, but who cares? Who the hell cares? It's your little love routine. Enjoy it. Of course, other people are going to think it's weird, but so what? Here's the trick: don't talk to your mother about it. That's my suggestion. But of course, it's a little weird. But you know what? If you found out and you kind of went through your own mother's love routine, her love routine is probably pretty weird too. And so, just yes, it's weird. But so what? All of our love. Come on, let's think about it. Love and sex and romance. It's all kind of weird if you think about it too hard. So don't think about it too much. Just do it.
Just enjoy yourself.
Just do it.
I'm glad you found a show you both like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what we're. Be thankful that you have, that love time, that way to express it. That snuggle time, whatever the hell you want to call it. Just be glad you have that. Be thankful for that, and tell everybody else to bugger off.
Really?
All right, this is one.
Okay, my best friend's brother, 29-year-old male, moved into my 32-year-old female spare room at the beginning of the pandemic as he quickly needed somewhere to live. It was only meant to be temporary, but we ended up staying long-term as we were very compatible as housemates. We fell in love and are now in a relationship. The problem is my best friend does not approve. She won't talk to either of us. How do we deal with her?
Do we know why she won't approve?
No.
Or is it just because she doesn't want to think about her brother and your best friend, doing the bouncy? Which is probably my guess. It's just an immature reaction. She can't think about her little brother and her best friend. That would be my guess.
There's a bit of an age gap.
What, 29 and 32?
Oh, I thought it was 25.
No, it's 29 and 32.
Oh, okay.
And that's an age gap? Hello?
I'm 9 years older than you.
That's what I'm saying. They're only 3. What the hell? No, my guess is she just can't accept the fact that her brother is doing the nasty with her best friend, and she can't get over it.
Okay.
She doesn't want to think about it, and so the way she doesn't have to think about it is by not dealing with it. It's childish and immature, but my suggestion is to you: don't deal with it. There's nothing to deal with.
She'll come around.
Yeah, just build your life together. Hey, look, she's not talking to you, so it's not a problem. She's not making your life hell, so she's leaving you alone. That's better than, she could be interfering. So accept that. She'll come around, or she won't. Not everybody's going to like your choices. Okay.
Parenting.
Oh, yay.
Can you smell when your kids are about to get sick? My kids smell different. As soon as I get a whiff of their sick smell, I can't get it out of my nose. My husband thinks I'm some kind of wizard.
I think it's unlikely, but I don't know. It's possible, I suppose, for a small percentage of people to be able to smell things others can't. The world is a wonderfully strange place. I've never noticed this, kids smell different, but, I've had so many kids that, they're probably overpowered by the rest of the smells. So I don't know. No, I have no clue. If it works, it works. Knock yourselves out. I don't know.
I think it's a neat trick.
Sure. Okay.
You can lay in supplies.
I don't know. Okay. What's next?
Okay. Would you provide Baileys for parents at a child's morning birthday party?
Baileys?
Baileys and cream. It's an alcohol.
No. Why would you have alcohol at a child's birthday party? No, you keep alcohol away from a child's birthday party. What the hell's wrong with you people? Good Lord.
I agree.
I mean, come on now. Can't you go a couple hours without a drink? All right, what do you got?
5-year-old keeps loosening his seatbelt. That's it. That's the issue. We've told him nicely. We've told him angrily. We've incentivized. We've punished. He does not care about anything but his own will in the exact moment. This is a safety issue, so we can't budge. Help.
He'll grow out of it. And as long as he's just loosening it, it's just not completely taking it off. It's not actually as dangerous as you might think. But it is an issue. You just kind of have to keep doing it. It's just like anything. It's like a cat. It's repetition. Drop the anger, drop the incentivize, drop the punishment. Just keep repeating it. He'll get tired of you hearing it and start doing it out of, yeah. So I got my kids to stop saying that's not fair by giving them a 20-minute lecture every time they said it's not fair. So every time he loosens his seatbelt, give him a 20-minute lecture on safety. And trust me, he'll start doing it just so he didn't have to listen to the freaking lecture. Yeah. It takes a lot of time, but it's the only way it's going to work. Nothing else is going to work. So just going to have to do it that way. All right.
Godspeed.
Yeah.
Okay, would it be tacky not to get gifts for our 1-year-old twins this Christmas? Not as any kind of punishment or deprivation, just to clarify. My husband and I are bringing the twins to my mother's this Christmas, and the whole family is coming. They're the only babies in my generation, and I know they're going to get showered with presents from immediate and extended family who hasn't met them yet.
The kids they're one. They're not going to know.
Buy a book for keepsake for each of them, and there you go.
Yeah, there's when they're one, they don't even know they have no idea what's going on. So it doesn't matter. No, you're not going to harm them in any shape, manner, or form. You're probably better off saving the money and using it for the regular stuff that you were going to buy them anyway. Because what do you buy kids at Christmas? You buy them toys. What do you buy 1 year old? You buy them toys and clothes. And so you're just going to it's just a continual buying of toys and clothes. You buy them Christmas gifts all throughout the year at that age. So it's fine. If you really want to assuage your guilt, buy some stuff you were going to buy anyway. Put wrapping paper in it, over it, and put it under the tree, and then open it up the next day. Yay! They're formulas under the tree. Santa brought you formula. Woohoo! They're one. They don't know. If you really want to do it, they don't know. If you just want them to have the experience of opening stuff up, just don't give them something that you were going to give them. Wait. Wrap diapers up and put it under the tree, whatever. It's just, if you want, because that's all it is. It's at this stage. It's just a routine. So, knock yourselves out. Do whatever.
Okay, can we do sex questions? We've never got to sex questions lately.
All right.
Okay. I hook up with guys because I have no friends and I just needed that human contact and communication. Is that wrong?
Well, no, but the question is, if you need contact and communication, why are you using sex to get it? There's lots of other ways to get human contact and communication. Where's your my guess is they're socially awkward and they don't have the social skills to develop a friendship. So go find something. Go join the community access group. Something relatively. The city has one here in Sacramento. I work for a public access place, nonprofit. You come in, you pay a small fee, and they teach you how to do things like a TV show or a radio show or They give classes on how to do like editing programs and things like that. Go to these things.
And there's also shuffleboard and tap dancing.
Yeah. So find your local community center. Even small towns have a community center, and take a class. Some of them even have classes on exactly this.
How to have the art of conversation.
Social awkwardness classes. They really do. They have social awkwardness classes. So go take them. Go find something to do. Find your hobby. And if your hobby's sex, go engage in a group that engages with sexual discussion rather than sexual acts. And become part of the community rather than, if that's your only outlet, but my guess is you have other outlets. You're just not focusing on them. You're stuck in a rut, and it's relatively easy to get connected.
It's so easy for a girl.
So it's so put a little effort in, get out of your rut. Chase a dream. There's things like a writing class. There's a good writing class at the community center I work at. They have where where you go in and you sit down and you teach you how to write about your story. Well, there's a moment where you get to go be vulnerable with other people who are going through the same kind of crap you are. So, and you can develop friendships there. So just find something, anything. You have an interest in something, go chase it. There's this community group that does the same thing. And if you need help, reach out to somebody. Okay.
All right. Men, would you use male birth control?
Well, men use birth control all the time. What are they talking about? I mean, like, would you take a pill?
Yeah.
Well, of course they would. Of course we'd forget. So, how reliable we'd be
Yeah, see, we can't trust you guys.
That's not true. I take how many often now? I forgot my pill 3 times? So we're not that bad. It's just we don't forget any more than women do. And it's just saying.
Okay.
Of course they would. The problem is the male birth control is a much different beast than women have a monthly cycle you can actually interrupt. Men are a continual thing, and how do you interrupt that without interrupting it? It's been proven to be perplexing issue. We haven't figured it out. So, but we do use birth control all the time. Men put condoms on all the time. It's birth control. You think you're going to be willing to put a condom on and not take a pill? Of course they will. I'll guarantee you they prefer it, but it's not that we wouldn't do it. It's that it's a perplexing medical issue.
Okay.
A lot of people want to blame. No, they've been looking into it for forever. It's just there's no easy way to do it. Okay.
My best friend and I lived together. Up till now, we weren't sexual with each other. Now that's changed immensely. Have I lost my best friend?
Yes and no. Yes, you will likely now need to go find somebody else to fulfill your best friend role. But your best friend has now evolved into something closer. And you've gained more, potentially. Now it comes with the risk that you could lose it. But fear of losing what you have can often prevent you from gaining something you need. So, and you've already crossed the bridge, so,
It's kind of a done deal.
So, you've already, thrown that risk under the bus. So, yeah. Have you lost your best friend? Yeah. It's not a bad thing. Now you can have a partner and a best friend. 2. Life's better with 2. 2 heads are better than 1. It's okay. Your spouse, your partner, and your best friend should be different people. They're different roles. They have different names for a reason. Your best friend helps you through your trials and troubles in life. Your spouse is your partner through your trials and troubles in life. And sometimes your partner is a trial and trouble in your life, and you need a best friend to talk with them over it. And so That's why there's different things. It's okay. It's all I'm saying. You've gained more than you've lost as long as you respect the roles and respect each other, and it's a genuine relationship. Now, if it's just for sex, then you've lost a best friend for nothing. So there's that. All right.
Okay. My 18-year-old female boyfriend and 19-year-old male found a way to make me lose control, and I'm embarrassed. How can I tone it back?
She's an 18-year-old female. Her boyfriend, 19, found a way to make her lose control, and she lose control. What do you mean?
Lose control sexually.
What do you mean? It tells me nothing.
Well, she gets very vocal.
And
she loses control of her emotions, and physically she gets very into it.
And that's a problem?
But she's embarrassed.
Get over it. I get it. I suppose, if you're disturbing the apartment complex, it can be embarrassing. And may want to learn to manage it a little better, but knock your socks off. Just go with it. And put it this way, as you become more experienced, it'll be easier to control those things. So just keep practicing. How's that? Don't know.
But that's good advice. As long as you have your privacy, and he's obviously a very caring man that you have an attachment to. Otherwise, you wouldn't be losing control like this.
Yeah, you're obviously in a position where you feel safe enough to go ahead and let yourself completely go. That's actually
it's a very good thing.
It's a wonderful gift. So the question becomes is why are you embarrassed? And if you really wanted to dive into that, it's a question for your psychologist, counselor. But from my perspective is you'll just, as you become better at sex, you'll become better at controlling those type of things. So practice. That's what you want to do. You want to practice. And we're going to sit here and practice our thankfulness. So Lovey, do you want to give us what you're thankful for on this week of thankfulness?
Well, of course, my family, my girls, my grandchildren. And I'm missing some members of my family this Thanksgiving. But I'm grateful. I'm trying to remember the good times that I had with him. And I'm also grateful for, when I get down, I do a gratitude list. My honey helps me. We talk and do a gratitude list. I have fresh running water. I have medical care. I have a home. I have heat. I have food. I have a pantry I can eat out of for like a week. I am so blessed.
Yeah. I'm thankful that I have the opportunity to chase my dreams, essentially, to become the person that I want to be. And, of course I'm thankful for the children and the family and everything and all the stuff that supports that, because you can't chase your dreams. You can't chase the person you want to be without, by yourself. It doesn't happen. Well, it doesn't happen often enough to be, like I say, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often enough to be reliable. And so for the vast, vast, vast majority of us, we need support structures, systems, people. We need people to help us, to love us, to support us, to criticize us, to tell us when we're wrong, to point us in a new direction, to give us opportunities, and to pick us up when we fall down. And, you do that enough times and you can be given opportunities to help people chase their dreams and to help people achieve their goals. And, I'm thankful for that. Because for all the things I've been through the last few years, and it's been a bundle. It's been a bundle. I'm thankful I'm still here. I'm thankful that I've got, opportunities to help people chase their dreams, become who they want to be. And, I'm thankful I get my chance to help make the world a better place. And with that, me and Lubby want to thank you for spending time with us. We want to thank you for joining us on our journey. And with that, good night. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And please remember to love everybody.
Bye.
You're supposed to say good night. You changed from bye to good night. And good night's a better thing. So say good night.
Good night.